Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. Anyway, people, I am still trying to find out more about calorie restricting. And part of this is because all of my life I've been dieting. Seriously, I mean, third grade on, right? It was just a game with my sisters at first, then it was obsession, then I went to, an apple a day and got as thin as I could, and then I got into bulimia, and then I got into obviously compulsive overeating and just being so done with dieting that I was like, screw it all, right? And then now I found my healthiest way to eat ever, which of course is high carb, low fat, raw vegan. And I'm so happy. And part of the reason that I even wanted to do it was because I really felt like I would finally be able to stop counting calories, only to be told once again to maintain my calories between like 14 and 1600 because of my age, because of my height, because of my weight. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding that because some people say it's not just that. And I know everybody says you've got to have a calorie deficit to lose weight. I get it. What I don't get, and this isn't even a desire to just justify overeating. I'm not even doing that. I'm literally very curious about this. I have a friend who, by all accounts, their resting metabolic rate demands 1,310 calories for their height and weight. So just to live, just for their organs to function, to do nothing else in their day, it's 1,310 calories. Okay, they average about 2,200 to 2,400 calories of food a day. And yet they never gain weight. In fact, they have to kind of work to make sure that they don't lose additional weight because they're absolutely at their optimal, And so it's just interesting to me because why isn't that additional 900 calories causing weight gain? And it's because it's above and beyond, excuse me, it's above and beyond the basic requirements for their body to just function. Okay, my body's so screwed up. It doesn't know which way is up or down. I have messed with it so many times. And even my little sister was saying, Juliana, your body doesn't even know to trust you because just when you start seemingly doing another pattern and technically being well, you blow it. And your body just goes, oh, we recognize her. I so get it. But this is still very curious to me. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below if you're somebody who also eats in the 2,000 range, never gains weight, and you've been at your basic, weight level for years. I would love to hear that. I'm familiar with a few people. That's certainly true with my mom. Okay, so 5 ways restricting calories can be harmful. A great article. And this one's by Healthline, which I always appreciate because, of course, it has so many good things. It usually has a summary and a bottom line. And I am a bottom line girl. Okay, so it says people trying to lose weight often restrict the number of calories they eat. However, restricting calories too severely can lead to a variety of health problems, including reduced fertility and weaker bones. And of course, that's extreme calorie restriction. I'm not even talking about that. This article describes 5 potentially harmful effects of calorie restriction and helps you determine the calorie deficit that's right for you. That's what interests me. So your calorie needs explained. A calorie is defined as the amount of heat energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius or 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So interesting. However, you're more likely to think of calories as the unit of measurement for the amount of energy your body gets from the foods and beverages that you consume. Your body requires calories to function and uses them to sustain 3 main processes. 1, the basal metabolic rate, the BMR. This refers to the number of calories needed to cover your basic functions, including the proper functioning of brain, kidneys, heart, lungs, and nervous system. It's my understanding when your body doesn't have even the basics right there, it'll start kind of compromising where it's going to put it. So when people say, oh my gosh, I totally have brain fog, I can't even function. Well, if pumping your heart matters more than your brain, you're going to get brain fog in that moment if your body has to decide where the calories are going to go. Okay, so then it says digestion. Your body uses a certain number of calories to digest and metabolize the food you eat. This is also known as the thermic effect of food, or TEF. And finally, physical activity. This refers to the number of calories needed to fuel your everyday tasks and workouts. So the basal metabolic rate has nothing to do with movement at all. It's just functioning. If you happen to add physical activity to that and you're trying not to lose weight, you may have to even cover those calories as well. Not my problem. Okay, I hope it's my problem one day. So generally speaking, eating more calories than your body needs will cause you to gain weight, mostly in the form of body fat. Eating fewer calories than your body requires leads to weight loss. This calorie balance concept, which is supported by strong scientific research, is why people wanting to lose weight often try to restrict their calorie intake. However, restricting calories too much may harm your health in the following 5 ways. Again, I'm not looking for a game, people. I'm just looking for knowledge. I have no desire to overeat just for fun. I have no desire to undereat. I'm just so tired of my diet mentality, of counting every flipping calorie, weighing every ounce of everything, being fear-based on whether or not I'm going to lose weight I'm so over it, I can't even tell you. But I have to be careful because before, when I was over it, I went for broke and literally broke. Broke from all the binge money, broke my seams because my clothes didn't fit, broke. That is not my desire. I am just seeking knowledge. Number 1, it can lower your metabolism. Regularly eating fewer calories than your body needs can cause your metabolism to slow down. That's straight up. Several studies show that low-calorie diets can decrease the number of calories the body burns by as much as 23%. That's significant. What's more, this lower metabolism can persist long after the calorie-restricted diet is stopped. In fact, researchers believe that this lower metabolism may partly explain why more than 80% of people regain weight once they get off their calorie-restricted diet. Amen. One of the ways that calorie-restricted diets slow your metabolism is by causing muscle loss. The loss of muscle mass is especially likely to occur if the calorie-restricted diet is low in protein and not combined with exercise. High-carb, low-fat, raw vegan, just by definition is lower in protein because vegetables and fruit don't tend to have that much. They all have protein, but not a lot. And I'm kind of an 80-10-10 girl, right? Which is, of course, flipping something like keto on its head. I mean, there's very little protein, just enough for the body's needs, right? Which is my preferred way. Get serious. So it says, to prevent your weight loss diet from affecting your metabolism, make sure that you never eat fewer calories than are required to sustain your BMR. So just your BMR, the basic metabolic rate. You have to go at least above that. And that's different for everybody depending on your weight and height, and there's calculators for that. Slightly increasing your protein intake and adding resistance to exercise to your workout routine may also help. Summary: severely restricting your calories can decrease your metabolism and cause you to lose muscle mass. This makes it more difficult to maintain your weight loss in long term. And of course, I'll include this in the description of the video. And if you're not a reader, just go by the summary. Number 2, it can cause fatigue and nutrient deficiencies. Regularly eating fewer calories than your body requires can cause fatigue and make it more challenging for you to meet your daily nutrient needs. For instance, calorie-restricted diets may not provide sufficient amounts of iron, folate, or vitamin B12, and this can lead to anemia and extreme fatigue. In addition, the number of carbs you eat may play a role in fatigue. Oh, can't wait to hear this. Some studies suggest that calorie-restricted diets with low amounts of carbs may cause feelings of fatigue in some individuals. Okay, I'm all good for that. I was afraid they were going to say lower your carbs. However, other studies that find low-carb diets reduce fatigue. That low-carb diets reduce fatigue. Therefore, this effect may depend on the individual. Calorie-restricted diets may limit other nutrients too, including protein, Not eating enough protein-rich foods like meat, fish, but beans, peas, lentils, nuts, yes, and seeds may cause muscle loss, hair thinning, and brittle nails. Calcium. Not eating enough calcium-rich foods like, of course, dairy. Leafy greens, yay. Calcium-set tofu and fortified milks. Hi, I'm Jules Blessed Vegan. Yeah. But that's okay. That's okay. Everyone's finding their way. May reduce bone strength and increase the risk of fractures. Biotin and thiamine. A low intake of whole grains, legumes, again, eggs, dairy, nuts, and seeds may limit your intake of these two B vitamins, potentially resulting in muscle weakness, hair loss, and scaly skin. Vitamin A. Not eating enough vitamin A rich foods. Like, please, this is so no. Even when I was a meat eater, this was a so no. It says organ meat. Yeah, I was never eating organ meat. Fish, dairy, leafy greens, or orange-colored fruits and vegetables. Yay! You need those for vitamin A. May weaken your immune system and lead to permanent eye damage. Magnesium, so important, you guys. I told you that magnesium completely healed my familial tremor. If you had any sense of that, I would love to talk to a student from 15 years ago or, less than that. Are you kidding me? Probably 5 years ago, who would say, Miss McCants, how did you fix your hands? I would love that. Okay, and insufficient intake of magnesium-rich, either whole grains, nuts, or leafy greens. Hey, they didn't say anything about animals for that. Okay, so magnesium is just in plant-based. May cause fatigue, migraines, muscle cramps, and abnormal heart rhythms. To prevent fatigue and nutrient deficiencies, avoid overly restricting your calories and ensure you eat a variety of whole, minimally processed foods. Summary: restricting calories too severely can lead to fatigue. Maintaining the calorie restriction for too long can lead to nutrient deficiencies. Number 3, it may reduce fertility. Restricting calories too dramatically can negatively affect fertility. This is especially true for women, as the ability to ovulate depends on hormone levels. More specifically, an increase in estrogen and luteinizing hormone, LH, levels is needed in order for ovulation to occur. Interestingly, research has shown that LH levels partly depend on the number of calories available in a woman's diet. Accordingly, studies show that the reproductive function is suppressed in women who eat 22 to 42% fewer calories than are needed to maintain their weight. And insufficient calorie intake may also reduce estrogen levels, which is thought to have lasting negative effects on bone and heart health. Signs of reduced fertility may include irregular menstrual cycles or lack of them. However, subtle menstrual disturbances may not have any symptoms, so they may require a more thorough medical examination to be diagnosed. Researchers believe that severe calorie restriction may also affect men's reproductive. We don't talk that much about that. There's a lot of anorexic men. People don't talk about it. Function, but few studies exist on the topic. Summary: overly restricting calories may potentially reduce fertility, especially in women. More studies are needed to determine the effects of calorie restriction in men. Number 4, it can weaken your bones. Consuming too few calories can weaken your bones. That's because calorie restriction can reduce estrogen and testosterone levels. Low levels of these two reproductive hormones are thought to reduce bone formation and increase bone breakdown, resulting in weaker bones. Fair enough. In addition, calorie restriction, and again, this goes back to what food you're consuming and whether you have calcium, vitamin D, and all of those things, right? Especially when combined with physical exercise, can increase stress hormone levels. This may lead to bone loss. Bone loss is especially troublesome because it often is irreversible and increases the risk of fractures. That is so sad to think of. I do find that most things are greatly improved, if not reversed, by doing a whole plant diet. Restricting calories may disturb, this is the summary, restricting calories may disturb hormone levels, which may result in weaker bones and an increased risk of fractures. Number 5, it may lower your immunity. For all my friends who chose not to get a vaccine, which is good on you, right? You want to make sure your immunity is up, of course, so you can fight whatever comes. So restricting calories may increase your risk of infections and illness. This applies to viruses like the common cold, and it appears to be especially true when it's combined with a high level of physical activity. So yeah, if you're one of those going for broke on exercise, plus you undereat, you're very vulnerable. For instance, one study compared athletes in disciplines that put strong emphasis on body leanness, such as boxing, gymnastics, or diving, to those in disciplines less focused on body weight. The researchers reported that athletes in disciplines that required leanness made more frequent attempts to lose weight and were almost twice as likely to have been sick in the previous 3 months. In another study, Taekwondo athletes who were dieting to reduce their body weight the week before a competition experienced reduced immunity and an increased risk of infection. The effects of calorie restriction in non-exercising individuals are less clear, and more research is needed before strong conclusions can be made. Fair enough. So the summary, calorie restriction, especially when combined with strenuous physical activity, may lower your overall immune defenses. How to eat the right number of calories. Calories needs vary person to person because they depend on factors such as age, sex, height, current weight, and physical activity levels. Determining the number of calories that's right for you will reduce your likelihood of developing the negative health consequences outlined above. There's various ways to estimate your own calorie needs. The easiest method consists of 3 simple steps. I'm all in for simple, but who defines what simple is, right? So number 1, determine your BMR. Use this online calculator to estimate the minimum number of calories your body requires per day. Aim to never consume fewer than this. Number 2, estimate your daily requirement. Use this online calculator to estimate the number of calories you need to maintain your current body weight, which of course I don't want to be doing. And number 3, determine your calorie needs for weight loss. If weight loss is your goal, aim for a daily calorie intake falling between the amount required to sustain your BMR and the amount needed to maintain your current body weight. In addition, make sure you record what you eat in an online food journal like Chronometer, at least at the beginning of your weight loss process. Tracking your diet will help you ensure that you continue to reach your daily recommended nutrient intake. So in summary, use the method above to estimate the daily calorie intake that's right for you, in addition to an online diet journal to ensure your diet covers your nutrient needs. Super interesting. I'm going to talk about this again tomorrow. I'm going to get in there and do some of those, online calculators and see what it says for me. So it indicates that you need at least your baseline metabolic rate. Then you estimate what it takes to maintain your current body weight, and you eat somewhere in between. That's of interest to me. I will get back to you tomorrow. Again, I'm not game playing. I don't need to answer to anybody. This is the only body I'll ever have. So I'm very much just trying to find something sustainable for me. And 14 to 1600 calories seems a little low to me. I do okay with it. I just don't know if it's in my best interest. What do you guys know? I would love to know. Like if you like, join us if you haven't. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, people, best of all, know that we are on the planet, we're breathing, and therefore we're blessed.